1212, you know what it is. It's your man Skyzoo, Skyzoo, live from the borough. Logged on, tuned in, kickrocks.com. You know what it is, baby.
Range Rover rhythm, corner store signature. I don't do it for me, I do it for the liquor store. Said we knew what it be, knew what it's about. Trying 80,000 something for we out. And all we know is Range Rover rhythm, corner store signature. I don't do it for me, I do it for the liquor store. Said we knew what it be, knew what it's about. Trying 80,000 something for we out. And all we know is how the Swedish.
Kickrocks.com. We're here with one of Brooklyn's own sought after lyricist MC. You heard him on everything, Range Rover Rhythm. Spike Lee was my hero. I mean, Brooklyn's own Skyzoo. What up, baby?
What up, baby?
Everything, man.
Word up.
The first I want to touch, so you have like one of the most unique names, Skyzoo. It resonates to a lot of people. Like, where that name come from?
Oh man, where my name came from is it stems off of my birth name. You know, my real name is Skyler.
Okay.
K-Y-L-E-R. So,
right.
you know, with that, when I was born in the 80s, there was a disco group out named Sky, and they had a record called Skyzoo. So my family, you know, my cousins and aunts, you know, people close to my family would call me that as a nickname when I was an infant. You know what I mean? So it kind of stuck. You know what I'm saying? Like it stuck with me as far as just as a family nickname around the house. And then when I started rhyming, I ran with it. I knew nobody would have it. It was who I already was anyway, so I just ran with it.
Word. Yeah. So you being from Brooklyn, especially being the heart of Brooklyn, and me personally listening to your style of rapping, I can tell you were influenced by, you know, the culture itself, but specifically Brooklyn. Who would you say like were the MCs that directly influenced your style, like influenced you wanting to be a rapper?
Oh man, well, starting out, you know, listening to Chi Ali was how I first started rapping.
OG.
And, you know, that's a Bronx guy, you know what I mean? Shout out to my big bro Chi one time. Listening to him is what got me, you know, made me want to start rhyming. I was 9 when I first heard Chi back in the day. I think he was like 14, 15. I was only 9, so that made me want to start rhyming. But later on, as far as developing my sound and my style and just being a fan of certain artists that made me push the pen further, I mean, Big, Nas, Jay, Raekwon, Scarface, you know, guys like that. You know what I mean? The Genius, you know, guys like that.
Now, I know, me personally, I've been a fan for a while, and I know your following has been crazy, and I know the label's been knocking at you, trying, you know what I mean, get you on a label. What has kept you being independent and like, sort of like just kept you away from the label situation and kept you grinding at the level that you're grinding? Because you're not doing on a lower level, you're doing on like a real big level to be independent.
Appreciate that.
So what has kept you like away from the big labels like?
Well, you know, in 2014, it's a number of things, you know what I mean? It's creative control, artistic freedom, you know, being able to reach and touch the same people that artists on the major can get to. You know, when artists buy records nowadays, I mean, when fans buy records nowadays, they're not really looking at the logo on the back of the CD. You know what I mean? If they buying a CD at all, they're getting it off iTunes. They're not looking at, you know, who put it out, what label's behind it, whatever it is. As long as the opportunities are there to be able to push the music forward and to be able to put it in the consumer's hands, put it in front of the consumer on a day-to-day basis, that's all that really matters. So it's really about the reach, no matter who's pushing it forward, as long as the reach is there, you know? So with me, the split is bigger when you want to indie, creative control, artistic freedom and all that, and being able to really get one-on-one with the people is something that, you know, is undeniable. That's not to say if a major came along, I wouldn't be with it.
The right situation, it makes sense.
It depends on something that's going to combat what I'm already doing and where I'm at, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
now, an important thing that I want you to give the aspiring artists coming up, you do a lot of grinding. Like, what keeps your dream going? Like, what keeps your dream working? Because a lot of people don't know, like, you do a lot of things yourself, and you make sure you're knowledgeable about the art. You make sure everything goes right. Like, so what keeps your dream going and working for Skyzoo?
It's the want, you know, the want and the will to win. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like I said earlier, it's 2014, it's a different game. You know, so at the end of the day, you got to do it yourself no matter what. I mean, you got artists on major labels that are still setting up their own walkthroughs, handling their own photo shoots, handling their own, you know, videos, and choosing the directors themselves and writing the treatments. Because it's 2014, it's a ton of people out there with the means, the same means that the guy standing next to them has in order to create what they want to create. So you got to be able to be a step in front, you know what I mean? You got to be able to jump out in front of that and take it where you need to. So it's the want and the will to win, man.
what do you think about the state of New York right now? Because Troy's making heavy news. You definitely been holding New York up. You know, we got Chinks over there in Queens. What up, Chinks?
Absolutely.
I let
Shout
Chinks.
my man Chinks.
You know what I'm saying? Making heavy noise. What you think about the state right now? Because I think we're doing better than we were a few months ago, and I think it's still going. 50 got a Drake coming out crazy.
Word
So
up.
what you think about the state of New York right now?
Well, you know, it's definitely an improvement. Like
Right,
you said.
right.
You know what I mean? You got artists like you named that are building up and pushing it forward and getting opportunities and creating a lane, carving it out, you know? So it's definitely better. It's not all the way there, but things take time. You know what I mean? It's not a situation where you look at it as, oh, it ain't happened yet for the city overnight, so it's over with. Nah, things take time, you know what I mean? But it's good to see things going in the right direction, like the artists you named and other artists that are doing their thing. You know, my man Torae, obviously.
Yo, what up, Torae? Yeah.
And Shot Stimuli, and, you know, Fred the Godson, Loaded Lux, you know, Vado. There's a lot of artists that are coming up, doing their thing, or have been doing their thing for a while, and the lane is opening up, and we carving and creating it, and we here, so.
Now, speaking of New York, now this is where the questions get real hard. You gotta narrow it down to your top Brooklyn lyricists. Like, now you gotta think about that, because y'all brought heat.
Yeah, but I don't think that's that tough. I mean,
yeah,
you saying Brooklyn?
Brooklyn lyricists,
I mean, you
number one.
You gotta go Big and Jay. You know what I mean? You know, Big, Jay. You know, what else? Sean Price, definitely.
Sean Price, what up?
You know, I'm taking my name out of it because, you know, you saying Brooklyn lyricist.
But you
I don't want to be. I don't want to sound biased because
you don't have to sound biased. You qualify,
you know
Brooklyn.
Oh, absolutely. No. I'm saying outside of me because I'm gonna put myself there. You know, rightfully so.
Rightfully so.
You know what I'm saying? But just stepping out of the box and being a fan. You know, Big Jay. You know.
I pay close attention to your wordplay and how you put together the titles of your song. One of them being Spike Lee Was My Hero, and the way you put it together was so beautiful. What inspired that track, like?
Oh man, you know, it's kind of self-explanatory. You know what I mean? When I got the beat, you know, my man Tall Black Guy did the beat. Shout to the homie.
What up?
When I got the beat, you know, it just had this superhero anthemic vibe. You know, the horns, the dun, 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 dun. It felt like the theme music for a hero. You know, it felt like the theme music for a superhero. The first thing I saw was some type of superhero, some type of saving the day.
Exactly.
And I was like, well, who are my superheroes? And the first person I thought of was Spike Lee. Right. And I was like, that's my hero. You know what I mean? So, along with a lot of other people, but now, as far as on that side,
hero, are you speaking of what he means to the city, his movie, or
what he's done?
Exactly.
What he's done.
Body
you know
work.
What I'm saying, like what he's done, what he's been able to do, and how he's been able to do it his way. You know what I mean? Being able to, you know, multi-millionaire, iconic, legendary, all that, and never have to bite his tongue, and never have to tone down his pen, and none of that. Yeah. Exactly. So all of those things, you know, that's my hero. You know what I mean? One of many, but you know, as far as outside of family, outside of my pops, of course, but you know, just looking up to certain figures that who you don't know, who you don't meet, like a superhero. You know, Spike.
So who would you put up there as the most iconic figure to you from Brooklyn?
To me?
To you, ever step out of this borough?
To me, it would be between Spike and Jay.
Word.
To me personally.
Personally, yeah.
Yeah, but I think if you just saying overall and you ask the average person, that they would go Jay. But to me, it's between Spike and Jay.
Word.
Working with my bro Torae. You know, we got an album out. We're coming out actually. We got an album coming out in about a month and a half called Barrel Brothers.
So already we gonna reach out, boy.
Absolutely. So we got an album called Barrel Brothers coming out. Okay. Collabo album. People wanted from us for a while. People was asking for a long time. Y'all gotta do something together. Y'all always rocking and stuff. And Tor is literally like my brother. You know, that's like family. So it just made sense. People started throwing money at us to do it. You know what I'm saying? Shout to Empire for putting the project out. People started throwing money at us to do it, and we was like, all right, let's just do it. Let's go in here, lock in, and knock this out. You know what I mean? So,
how far y'all in there right now?
It's done. It's done. So now, you know, we in promo mode. We just finished about a week ago.
I can't wait for that. Two dope artists. I can't wait for that.
Nah, it's just beats and rhymes. You know, when you hear me, you hear records like Spike Lee Was My Hero, The Cost to Sleep, Steel's Apartment, things like that. But this album is just beats and rhymes. There's no storytelling. There's no, you know, grand horn sections and piano sections and strings. And it's just straight lunchroom, just beats and rhymes. Just throwing a stupid instrumental and let us just dumb out. Like it's really just going back to that for a moment before I get back to my solo stuff, where I get back to my storytelling and, you know, painting these pictures and all that.
So where you gonna release that on?
Hat. Blood type is Yankee blue. Sky King jumped off the steps and made a coup. How we find lane, bust out the left and play the loop. And if you sideways, come out your neck, I bring a noose. From the gray bottom era and one of just a select tool that never changed what he wave when all the rest do.